Shout out for Hype Off Life for the amazing content and amazing interviewer. Check them.
So who is NoizeBeatz for everybody that's unfamiliar?
NoizeBeatz is a creator. I work with artists from legendary TLC, legendary Young Dro, and then also now new artist Teamarrr from Atlantic Records, also signed with Issa Rae's new Raedio group.
Can you describe your come up?
My come up was working with D12 from Bizarre from D12. My first actually getting to the main industry was also with teaming up with Jay Holiday. We had a studio together, North Atlanta actually. And I ended up moving here 7 years ago to Los Angeles by myself, no family, nobody else, and pretty much developing, the connections and getting in different sessions.
So what inspired your move to LA?
My move to LA, I needed a change. At the time, Atlanta was not at the time transition to pop music, and I was doing a lot of pop music at the time, for such as artists like Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, but so they haven't transitioned to that at the time. So that made me just kind of be like, okay, it's time for a change. I need to go here and figure out, because what we know is that we're supposed to be around the writers as a producer. So that was the thing back then, 2012-ish time. They was like, hey, you got to go to Los Angeles to get with the writers. So that's what I did. I came here with a round ticket and didn't go back.
What were some obstacles you faced while coming up?
The single parent household, a lot of times my father, he passed on Father's Day. So, it was just my mom trying to raise two, daughters and a son. And it was definitely one of those situations that I kind of felt like I was, by myself and I had to figure it out quick. I was always in the studio, but still didn't have the direction. So that kind of just pushed me.
I heard you had to deal with rejection too. How'd you get over that?
Rejection, it was just one of those things that you had to develop tough skin for. I mean, I think that me being here 7 years, with all the doors closing in my face every time, it doesn't matter if you got a great record. Sometimes it's just all about who you know and who really mess with you. And my main thing is I just learn how to get a tough skin about it and understand that somebody else out there is going to love it. It doesn't matter how old it is, how new it is.
Do you have any tips for people wanting to network in the industry?
Yeah, you really have to put yourself out there in every direction, in every angle, every place. It doesn't matter if it's white, black, Spanish. You just have to put yourself out there, shake hands. You never know who that person is. You never know who is watching and who was there. You just have to keep shaking hands and put yourself out in all places that you wouldn't even do, even if it's at a nice hotel bar. You know what I'm saying? Shake hands with anybody that you wouldn't normally shake hands with.
So exiting your comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
How else have you exited your comfort zone before?
I think with me, it's just been more about really staying prayed up. To me, like, I use NoizeBeatz as an alter ego just to, keep me, like, in a different type of energy where I could just speak to everybody, because honestly, I could kind of be shy, believe it or not, but, what I'm saying, it's just all about really being able to just step out of your zone and get into your own mind and get into your own brain and just really just push yourself just to keep it, pushing.
So you got your drum set when you were 3. So
Right.
Did your parents see something in you, like when you were younger?
Man. I was loud all the time with a drum set. I was always humming melodies, even though my singing wasn't crazy or good, dope enough. I just know how to do melodies. And, I got my first drum machine at 12 years old. As far as drum machine, I got my first drum set at 3. It was just always in the family. My mother was a singer. My family, my aunts was always in the church. Everybody was always singing. So it was just one of those things where everybody had music. Music just a surrounding. It was a surrounding. So yeah, it was just they saw something, man, because I think my sister just, sister, my mother kept putting new product for me, like just kept getting me, a drum machine, or pinning me in the studio here, or pinning me with this school, to learn how to mix and engineer here. It was always something. Yeah.
So how did you like fully get into producing? Like,
Let me see. I met these two guys, named Howard and Stanley. Shout out to them, from Athens, Georgia. They were at that time like the only dudes I knew who had like a little studio in their house, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like I gotta keep doing that. And then also, who's one of my old mentors, his name is John the Baptist. He had this group called Bad Intentions, which was like the city group. It was the country city group, Athens, Georgia. It was the small city, so it was like that was the group of the city. So working with them, working with getting with working on my different studio equipments, MPCs, everything. Just started day by day learning. It just took time, and then I did go to college for it too. So I went to school to learn how to mix more. I went how to to develop sound more. So I learned all of the different techniques of it, and it just kept going. It's like it's an energy in me that just makes it that I have to keep going with it, and so I just stayed doing it.
Would you say with Google and the internet now, is it beneficial for producers to still go to school for music?
It just depends. I feel like it was a God-given gift for me. I mean, I didn't have to actually go to school to learn how to produce. I went to school to learn how to actually advance my technique in music. I learned how to mix. I learned how to master. I learned how to do those type of things. But as far as getting into the school, and it just really depends how far you want to take your education on it. It was a God-given gift, and I feel like when you have a God-given gift, it just ain't no denying what it is. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think you have to go to school to answer. I don't think you do. I think as long as you keep going, you don't stop. At the end of the day, you will blow. Things will happen. Yeah.
So speaking of growing up in a musical household, what were some albums that changed your life in your perspective?
Oh, definitely Michael Jackson, Thriller, Bad, which was those two greatest Michael Jackson albums. And really what really changed it was like Timbaland and Missy. Like just listening to them with, from the production from Jodeci album, watching them grow to just the Timbaland and Missy alliance and making their own albums and listening to that sound. That sound was just something that, you couldn't compete with. It was just amazing. It was an epic sound. And that really just pushed me to be like, yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm doing,
Yeah, Timbaland's albums were crazy.
Yeah, Timbaland's albums was amazing. Like he had some of the dopest, sound and arrangement. Like that's what made everything just amazing with it. So.
Have you read his biography? It's good.
No, I haven't really read. I know his story. Super, their story from them being in the basement and everything, and their struggles. It was same as mine. You know what I'm saying?
So, do you feel everybody that's successful, they all go through the same struggle? Like, the same story, being broke and...
I mean, yeah. I'm sure everybody, initial be, is broke, I feel that. But, no, it just depends, too. Some people have the right rapper beside them, the right artist beside them that just believed in them, and they stuck with that artist and broke that artist. Because that's the number one thing nowadays is that you have to break an artist, to really just step foot in. I mean, some people luck up and get those, placements, but, it's really about breaking the artist, pinning the, your hard-earned time with that artist and just, sticking out with them.
What artists are you breaking right now?
Was like I said, Teamarrr from Raedio, the new label with Issa Rae. Issa Rae just partnered with Atlantic Records, and she really is the first like girl that I stuck beside. You know, just was like, yo, let's keep working. You know, let's keep going. And you know, thanks to her and her manager Kareem, you know, just for even just staying believing, because at the end of the day, like, we worked on mad records, you know, but the one record that struck out was the record that, you know, we knew from the jump that was going to be on the album. You know, we didn't know it was going to be a single, but we knew it was going to be on the album, you know what I'm saying? So that was the one, you know, that's the first artist that I have ever really just, you know, as far as having a record on signed to a major, like, Atlantic. And then, you know, other than that, you know, like I said, I did work with TLC on their last album. I did American Gold, which was a single, but, you know, they didn't get the, you know, it just wasn't the push as much. So it's just, I always was working with new artists. It was just, or working with different artists. Or, you know, it was always doing that. It's just, you know, this is the first one that actually just broke all the way. Yeah.
So we're ending a decade. We're ending a year. Where do you want to go in the next decade?
I want to just keep finding new artists. Like, I can't sleep at night knowing it's like somebody right next to me that's amazing vocalist, amazing rapper. So I'm always looking for the next new artist. I'm always looking for the next, you know, person that just gonna, you know, just impact the industry just on a whole different level, you know. So my main thing is just, you know, finding artists from small places that people just don't be at, and bringing them to the forefront and putting them in the right rooms with, you know, certain people, and just producing amazing, you know, hits that just change people's lives. That's just what it is. Yeah.
What are you looking for in new artists?
What am I looking for in a new artist? I'm looking for diversity. I'm looking for somebody who's totally just different from what's out there, even if it has a similar culture sound. You know, somebody who's just totally different with, you know, just really hungry, just getting in records. Writers are the biggest thing. If you can find a dope writer and that's also an artist, that's like, that's everything, because it saves you time, saves everybody in the room time, you know. But just somebody who versatile, somebody who can just go with any type of sound, because I don't just do rap and hip hop. I do, you know, country music, I do K-pop, I do all. So I'm open to all ranges, you know what I'm saying? So that's, yeah.
How can people contact you if they want to send you something? Are you accepting stuff?
Yeah, I'm definitely, my email is mp3noize, NoizeBeatz, BEATZ, at gmail.com. So NoizeBeatz, mp3noizebeatz, excuse me. And my Instagram, I mean, you can find, you type in NoizeBeatz in any of the search engines, it's gonna come up. So you can just email me through IG, wherever, you know, I'm there.
Okay, anything else we should know before you go?
Just, everybody just stay tuned, man. It's gonna be a whole new epic, you know, century, because, you know, we going into that new, you know, mark. So it's just, it's time to just really keep pushing some of these new artists and, you know, changing the game in every area we can.